Hey, good morning guys. Touch coming at you Sunday, July the 16th, just after 9 a.m. And we should be going to a car show today. But it's supposed to be raining this morning. But of course, it's not. Which makes me upset. Anyway, the forecast was for rain this morning. And then thunder showers this afternoon. So, like I said, we've had a lot of rain lately, so there was no reason to doubt the weathermen, but we're doubting the forecast already this morning. So, yeah, we're hoping to get the 60 TR3A up to a show today in Lindsay, Ontario, but that's not happening. So we're going to work on the car instead. We're going to work on the 68 TR250 that I've neglected for the last couple days. Didn't get out here yesterday, took the day off. I'm not sure if I was out here. I don't think I was out here Friday night either, because I had a party with a bunch of university buddies at a friend's house, so that went nice. I hadn't seen some of the guys for over 25, 30 years. I started university 30 years ago, and I think one of them I hadn't seen since university ended, so it was good to get back together. Anyway, everybody looks the same pretty much, just a little bit older, but I don't think we look 50. Don't feel 50, don't look 50, but that's just me. Anyway, for those of you following the calendar, we're at T-minus 63. Still doing the calendar, although I'm using the calendar more as a organizational tool than a countdown calendar to British Car Day now, so it's more of a way to keep the videos organized, if anything. Anyway, I do have Ellen coming up this morning. He's volunteered to give me a hand fixing these sills up, or playing around with the sills at least. So he's going to come up and give me a hand with this today. And we sort of have we were messaging last night, and we sort of have a plan of action put together on how we're going to attack this. So, like I said, the only thing I was concerned about was the bottom flanges on the rear fender in particular, not being an original flange, and it may be throwing off our ability to place the outer sill properly. The front are stock fenders, and although they're a little rusty on the bottom, at least the ends of the fenders are in good shape, so we can sort of locate the sill based off of that. So I think we're good to maybe try to get this sill fit in today. That's the objective for today anyways, to get the sill fitted and welded in. We'll see how far we get. There is quite a bit of work to do prior to getting to that point, but we will work together to see if we can get it all patched up by the end of today. Again, it's going to depend on how many beers are involved and how much food is eaten, but we'll do our best. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. We'll update when Ellen shows up and we start working on the car. I'm just sort of cleaning and organizing the garage a bit, putting some parts away that I'd stripped off the car earlier last week, and I mean the door panel doesn't need to be there. So we'll put that away safely out of harm's way. We'll pick up the interior door component parts and put them somewhere safe. So we have a clear workspace to work in this morning. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. I'll stop rambling and start cleaning. Alright, so we have some trouble in the garage this morning, and his name is Les. Les is supervising today. Ellen is here. And what has Les got to say today?
The bloody Canadian immigration screwed up my immigration papers and wouldn't let me back in the country, so I just came back from England. While I've gone, Tush replaced me with Les.
Yeah, I didn't tell you Les's travel story. He ended up getting stuck in the UK for over a week. So I had a nice vacation, and Ellen and I pretty much finished the car without Les. So now he's upset, right? Now he's come to check and inspect our work and just make sure he signs off on it.
Got questions about the body lines.
Yeah, he's
How to shim and set them up.
He's going to remake us do some work, I think.
No.
Anyway, all right, we're going to come back later after Les gives us a checklist. So the three of us don't feel so bad now about not going to Lindsay. Les was going to go with his Capri, and Ellen was going to go with the Spitfire, and I was going to go with the 3. But we're all sitting here in the garage, and we're watching it rain and get a little darker and darker. So, not that we're wishing bad weather on the people that did go, but we're kind of glad that we're not driving or sitting in the rain. And like I said, it's supposed to be thunder showers later on, and that's just not a situation we wanted to get into in the middle of an open park. Anyway, we haven't done any work yet. Les has just been here, you know. What are you doing, Les? Thinking. So it's now, it's 11:05 and it's almost beer time and we haven't even done anything yet. Right?
Well,
you're a bad influence, Les.
Not really.
Alright, so Les has left us in peace, so we're going to start to work. So Ellen's going to fix this drop on the floor at the front where I was a little too aggressive in taking out the spot welds. So we're going to fix that piece, and I'm going to work on this inner fender and fix up all of the fiberglass fenders were on the car had different holes drilled for the fenders, and the stock holes that were there were all filled with silicone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill up the non-stock holes, and then we'll have to drill a few holes towards the front of the fender for the stock mounted locations, because we put a new piece in there, so we need to relocate some holes for that. So that's what I'm up to. So just a quick update. So we're just filling up the holes from where the spot welds were drilled out of the top flange of the inner sill. Elan's having a snack. Fix the bottom flange, that piece that was missing in the front. So that's looking better. And we've ground down or filled all the spot weld holes from the bottom as well. So that piece is pretty much ready to go. Got to clean up the inside of that bottom flange a little bit better for the spot weld to work. The new holes have been drilled for the original bolt holes have been drilled back out, and the non-factory holes have been filled with welds, so those are looking good. So we're making progress. Only one beer into it. Looking good. Alright, 4:45 break time, and we're still playing around with the sill fitment. We got it pretty close. I don't know how many times we've had the fender on and off.
499.
499, so 500 will be a charm. So Ellen's just trimmed a little bit off the flange on the back piece, because I think it was interfering, this flange down the bottom here. We think it was interfering with this modified closing panel, I guess we're going to call it. It looks like it was hitting just on the inside here, so yeah. So we've just trimmed that, so we're hoping that's going to give us a little bit more clearance to pull that bottom flange inwards, because we've got it fairly close. It's just sort of stopping us from bringing it in a little bit closer. So like I said, 500th time is a charm. So we'll give it a shot after beer break, and I'm sure everything's going to be perfect. Alright, 5:30, and I think we're finally happy with the fender fitment to the bottom of the sills. We're going to have to run with the wood clamp, though, holding the front fender 100% of the time, and the pair of vice grips as well.
At least we got rid of the gaps.
But we got rid of the gaps. Actually, I think it's coming together. The sill fitment is obviously much better than it was. There's a little tiny stick out, but we can fix that when we do some body work on the car. The gaps are pretty good on the front. The gaps are a little off on the rear, but it's nothing that we can change without doing a little bit of metal work, I think. The gaps are narrow at the top, not bad to here, and then they go a little wider in the middle and narrower down the bottom. So I think what I'm going to have to do eventually is what I did in my TR3 doors, is just weld a little bit of rod in here to close this gap up a little bit, because there's nothing we can do with either the door or the fender fitment that's going to fix that. So yeah, I think we're pretty happy with that. If we can get the sill, we've only got it tech screwed in place right now, so if we can get the sill actually welded where it's tech screwed to, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. And obviously we still have to build those the feet for the bottom of the A post and the bottom of the B post, but for the most part I think it's looking pretty good, right?
Yeah, we forgot one thing.
We forgot one thing.
We forgot to lift this up here. Right?
Oh, we have one more area to lift up and fix the bottom flange to make sure it's tied together. So we've been using the piece of 2x3 and the jack just to bring the bottom flange up to the bottom of the floor flange, so the floor flange and the outer sill flange meet together and form that sill properly. So I think we've got one more little area to do to get that done. Anyway, that's your update for 5:30. Alright guys, we're just back out in the garage for a few minutes, just tidying up and shutting things down. I'm happy with the progress that we made today on the fender gaps and the sill fitment, and obviously the door gaps as well. So the next step will be to weld that sill in solid and fix the bottom of the A and B post as mentioned. So that's the next step. So we're going to basically get the spot welder out, and we're going to start spot welding the top flange inside the door, followed by the bottom flange. We'll keep the Tech screws in temporarily until we get all the spot welds done, then we'll pull the Tech screws out and we'll plug weld those holes shut. So that's the plan anyway. We're not going to be doing it tonight. We're going to probably get ready for work tomorrow. So I think that's going to be it for today. But like I said, it's been a good day, and I'm much happier with the fender door sill fitment. I thought that was going to be a major issue on this car, and it was something I couldn't live with. So still a little bit of work to be done. Probably a little body work, a little filler work on the sill itself. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Obviously, I've got some repairs to do to that front fender lower piece, which commonly rusts out on these fenders. So we've got a repair patch coming for that. I did have a repair patch coming for the rear fender as well, but I think we're probably going to stick with what we got on there and just drill a new mounting location that will attach to the stock mount and the sill. So we're good with that. We are going to do the other side, but obviously we want to complete one side first before we move to the other side. I do have new fender mounting kits coming next week as well, so we'll get these fenders mounted up a little bit better as well. So that's it for now, guys. I think we'll upload this so you can see where we're at, and then we'll get out here tomorrow and during the week, and hopefully we'll get this welded up and then move on to the other side. Alright guys, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.